Hi, hello, it's Mit. Today we're going to discuss about a straight route. You might be wondering what's a straight route. So nowadays people never choose the straight route. Straight routes are never impressive, especially for the migrating students to the UK. It's been a lot of uncertainties. So let me help you how to choose the right course and the right university, to reach a position where you have a job with a visa. So let's speak about the right course first, because I have seen students who never heard about short skill labor or short skill course in UK. You should go to the short occupation list of the UK Gov website and look for the course which can be suitable for you. There's a number of courses, number of levels, number of standards. But please don't go for management courses. Why I'm very clear about management courses is because I have seen this trend of pushing management courses for the students. And the truth is that it's very hard to find a job if it's a management course like MBA, international MBA, name it, whatever it is. They need people with the market knowledge. I mean, the people of the native soil for these kind of roles over here. I have done my postgraduate diploma in management back in India and worked 4 years in core sales and marketing, and yet I couldn't find a job over here in the same field. Trust me, management courses never land you in a job. There would be exceptions. Of course, there would be exceptions. Compared to the success rate with the short skilled laborers, you should ignore the management courses unless you're. It's always easy for an agency to secure a management course for you. So they would definitely push for you. I even doubt whether they're getting extra commission or more commission for this, because I have seen this trend of agencies pushing the management courses. Like, you know what? They might be much skillful in some other courses. They would have other experiences. They won't even consider any of this. Just push the course to take them to the UK and get their commission. See, if you have a previous experience and if it is a demanding job in UK, please don't deviate from it. It's very hard. I mean, in UK, they consider your experience as much valuable. So, if you are an experienced IT guy, or if you are an experienced automobile engineer, or if you are an experienced in any field which has demand over here, please go for such courses. Never go with the agency's idea. You should have a knowledge. You should know which course you need, which course could lead you to the success. Never leave your future in the agency's hand. If you're doing a part-time job, the same field as your course, the chances of getting a permanent job in the same role is much higher. Think about the 65 students in your class. And if you are the only guy who is doing a part-time job in the relevant field, you have a high chance of landing in a job, mate. I know it's not easy. Still, if you can, please focus the part-time jobs in the relevant field. It's a different country. It's a different course. It's a different system. Please, the best way to understand more about this is to discuss with the previous students. There might be students studying the same course in your circle, in the same university. I would suggest to speak with these guys and tell about your strength, your challenges. Go for an informal conversation. That could do wonders in your life. Okay, if you choose your course wisely, the next thing is university. Because I have seen students choose course very wisely. They know the most demanding job at the current moment. They have chose this course very wisely, but fail to choose the university right. And at the end, they're struggling just because the university isn't recognized enough to land them in a job. We should be looking at the overall ranking of the university to know the infrastructure, to know the overall attitude of the university to their students, their system, their culture. All these things matter. So the overall ranking should be taken into consideration. The university might be best overall, but the course you are choosing, they might have just started. They might have just introduced that course in the university. So always look for the ranking in the relevant field. If you're choosing a computer science course, check the ranking in the computer science field. Might not be computer science, IT, or whatever. If you're planning to do engineering, you should check the ranking of the university in that field. That is a key. Otherwise, you would end up in a wrong university with the right course. Before we choose a university, don't we think about the success rate of that particular course or university? And the best thing is to check the history of the placements. And you should be very keen while asking these questions, because I have been manipulated while I chose my course. Because when you ask about the previous placement history, they might give you the entire campus's placement history. Again, you don't need it. Especially undergraduates get placed very easily. You should be focusedly asked how many of the students from the previous batch got placed. Definitely the university is collecting those information, but don't let them filter according to their will. Speak to your student ambassador. Make use of those chances. Ask about the ranking, ask about the placement history, and that could give you a fair idea whether to choose that university or not. There are students who came over here and struggling to find a single day part-time job in a week. Think about that. So, apart from everything, practically seeing, before you choose a university, if you don't have enough money to take care of your studies and expenses, you should be checking the part-time opportunities across the university. And for a tip for this is, a second-hand car over here costs very less. If you already have an Indian license, you can use that license for 12 months over here. So I would suggest, if you can drive, buy a car. Don't limit yourself with the university surroundings for a part-time job. If the first part, choosing the right course and right university, has been done correctly, you are the right way to apply for a job. Think about it. You have 65 students in your class, and you are the only person who has started to apply for a job after the first semester. When you finish your course, your experience with the interviewers, the information you got from these interviewers, it all matters. You would be stand out. And trust me, there's a high chance you would be landing up a job much faster than others. Not my story, but I was in the other end of the story. I have seen friends who secured a job. When they have started to apply so rigorously after the first sem, I used to tease them. Their path was so much easier. Let me explain the current situation over here. The company that I worked with earlier, they haven't even heard about they have never heard about the visa, because all of their employees were from Europe, either from Europe or mostly from UK itself. So they didn't face an issue with sponsorship. So the moment I started to explain these things to them, they have applied for a sponsorship license. That's one way of doing things. Another way, your first job might not offer a sponsorship, but the next job, you're applying with skills, with experience. You can demand sponsorship. So first priority should be getting into the field. Most of the Indians have this tendency of expressing all the skills that we have while they ask for a single skill. Think about it. It works in India. It worked for me, but not over here. I have been rejected for 400 of jobs. And when I understood this tip, the application quality matters. The moment I have started to spend 1.5 hours for a single application, people started to shortlist me. Don't hesitate to spend hours for a single application. Seriously. Look for the keywords, each and every keyword. Spend time. Rewrite your story. You would have a resume with you already, but rewrite your story. Customize your resume. These are the keys. So if you're applying for 1,000 jobs and expecting, okay, I might be getting called from 1 or 2, not the story over here. If they couldn't find a person with a strong skill set, they will wait for another year to to fill that vacancy. I have seen positions like that. There are a lot of people who has gone through all this path. They know the shortcuts. They know how to skip some of the steps. With the people who have already landed in a job, they could save a lot of time for you. They could guide you properly. Never feel embarrassed to discuss with them. We help each other in this country and we succeed. I'm taking 1 hour to apply for a job a day. I might end up in 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 jobs maximum for a day. So I would suggest you to categorize. The moment you're so serious in your job search, categorize the easy apply jobs, categorize the jobs you need so badly, categorize the jobs which can be applied with just your resume, which doesn't need any modifications. Categorize them, apply them, spend time on them accordingly. And we all know now that the Brexit has happened. That has affected. Now everyone out of UK needs a visa. The Students Migration Chapter of UK isn't over yet. Just wait for it. So eventually the companies will start to get the visa license for the eligible jobs. And I would say good luck, you will end up in a job.